Hi Calculus 1 students. So in this video, we will be again finding one-sided infinite limits for rational functions. So rational functions, I recall, are fractions of polynomial, right? And I will recall the 4 steps as I go through this example. So the first step to evaluate this limit is to replace -3 and see what we get from here. This is step number 1. Okay, so we have 2 times -3 squared minus 5 times -3 minus 3. Okay, so that's the top. And the bottom is, wait, there seems to be a typo in my notes. So I'm going to go for -2 squared, okay? Yeah, -2 from above, okay? So in the notes, you should correct that typo, okay? Otherwise, the limit just is irrelevant. So we're going to replace -2 instead of -3 in that case, okay? And here we have 4 minus -2 squared, and we calculate everything. So the reason why I told you to replace the -3 by a -2 is to get a limit that for which the denominator is 0. Okay? And then let's look at the top. We have here -2 squared is 4. So we have 8 plus 10, 18, minus 3, 15. So we get 15 over 0. Okay? Now, this means that indeed we have a vertical asymptote. This is like a non-zero over 0. Okay? So the step number 2, so this is, there you go, the second step, is to factor the bottom. You factor the denominator. And in this case, it's quite easy because it's a difference of squares, right? So you have the limit as x is approaching -2 from above. The numerator you don't touch. It's not relevant. So you could factor it. It is actually factorable, but don't, okay? You would just be losing your time. What's important is to realize that this is a difference of squares. So you go 2 minus x, 2 plus x. Okay, so this is step number 2. Okay, step number 3. Locate the factor that's giving you the 0. It is this one, okay? It's this one that when you replace -2 in it, you're going to get 0. So everywhere else, you replace -2. And on the top, you already have your 15. And on the bottom, what do you get? Actually, I'm going to do it in full, just to make sure that you're not missing any kind of information. And remember, in this bracket, you're going to replace this with -2 from above. Okay, so that's the only place where you replace the -2 from above. And then you keep track of the sign of the fraction. Okay, so we have 15 over 4. Now let's have a look at this, okay? This is tricky, -2 from above, okay? It means that we're approaching -2 from values that are above -2. So examples would be -1.999, right? -1.9999999, okay? And so on, okay? As we add 2 to this number, we will get a positive numbers. We will get a number that is above 0. So we write this as being 0 plus, just to say that that's it. The sign of this number is positive. So it's a positive number. Okay, now let's write the 15 over 4 times 0 underneath. Okay, so normally you wouldn't have to recopy it, but it's only because now I'm going to do the step number 4. Okay, and step number 4, I recall, was to look at the overall sign. So you look at the sign of all the numbers over there and you pair it up with the 0, with the sign of this number, right? It's approaching 0, but it remains positive. So the overall sign is positive. Okay, so as a result, the limit is positive infinity in this case. All right, I hope this was helpful. So next example, see you in the next video.